Gunman Boxing, the baddest boxing channel in the UK. No safety catch, no silencer. I am here with the former super middleweight king, world champion boxer, George Groves. This man is the man. How are you, George?
I'm really good. I'm really, really good.
Now listen, some of you might be thinking, who is this brother to my right here? Who is this guy? You are coaching this guy. You are now a coach and a mentor. Can you tell us a little bit about this man?
Lucas Roehrig. Yeah, sure. I'll tell you everything you need to know about Lucas Roehrig. He is the best prospect in world boxing.
Where did you find this brother from?
Well, I found him. He was just lingering around outside, to be honest. Just met him just now. He is from my amateur boxing club, Dale Youth. So when I go down there on a Sunday morning, which I've done sporadically over the past few years, he was one of those brothers down there, and he was sort of setting the gym alight. He was flying, and at this point, I'd always said to the guys, anyone who wants to turn professional, if there's a helping hand I can give, a contact, a little pearl of wisdom, please just come and knock in. But Lucas, I had to be a bit more because he is a special talent. So I wanted to train and manage this fella because I think he is sort of best kept secret, although not a secret for much longer in boxing.
He's a gem. Lucas, what's he like as a coach? Do you listen to him?
100%.
You have to say that because he's here and he's a world champion. Do you listen to him?
Yeah, 100%. He's a great coach. That's why I've improved as much as I have. And you see that February 1st. You'll see how the continual growth and the continued development in my pro style. And yeah, it's amazing to have the former super middleweight world champion, someone I idolized, to be coaching and managing me. And yeah.
Legendary fighter, even better guy. Do you know what I mean? And probably the hardest ginger guy you'll ever meet. Do you know what I mean? Like the hardest by bar none. Like this guy's a serial killer. Listen, if we had £1 for every time Froch said that he beat you in front of 90,000 people, how much papers do you think you'd have?
About 80,000, I reckon. What do you reckon?
I think you'd have more money than Elon Musk. That kind of papers. Do you know what I mean? Like he says it every day, 3 times a day, doesn't it? It must grate a little bit, does it?
No, he's good. He's good stock, old Carl. Yeah. So me and him see a lot of each other. I see a lot of him in myself. He's got a bit of Elon Musk about him. I can imagine him back in, the Elon Musk thought processes. But no, he's all right. He's all right, Cole. He's setting the world alight in our domain. You know, when I do a bit of podcasting, you do a bit of social media stuffs. His YouTube channel's flying. So if you haven't seen that, check that out. Yeah. And he's got a bit itchy knuckles. I think he started on Jake Paul lately.
Yeah, he wants to have some, didn't he?
Yeah.
He wants to have some. Listen, we were just laughing there because Ben Shalom joked that he was going to stop my camera, which would have been really irritating. It would have had to have been Gunman coming out of retirement, knocking out Shalom, and I think it would have been Gunman in round 2 TKO. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I would have just hid behind him. I would just hid behind him and let you give him some instructions. You know what I mean? Like, listen, how often does he train you? You're training down in Dale Youth. How often does he train you?
5 days a week.
Yeah.
5 days a week. Every morning we're down there, 10:30. If we're not, going to another pro gym for sparring. So yeah, get to pick his brain. Get to be with him, 2-3 hours of the day. It's a great privilege.
Listen, for those that do not know this brother, you must make sure you're following this guy, a former Team GB fighter, 21 years old, but already showing poise of a veteran. We're really looking forward to seeing you. You've got your second fight. You're in cruiserweight. Horrible division, cruiserweight. Horrible division, isn't it, George? Horrible division. It's horrible, isn't it? Like, but it's so wide, though, the weight category, and I'm putting all this bridger weight thing in and trying to even it all up. It's a hard division to dominate in, isn't it? And at the moment, Jesus, look at the roster in there.
Yeah. There's some great fighters out there, but you need great fighters to be involved in great fights, and that's what boxing's all about. So he's fortunate enough to be in the cruiserweight division, which is sort of thriving. It's always been an overlooked division here in the UK, but with Chris Billam-Smith, who was the former world champion, sort of flying the flag, probably number one in division here in the UK. Lucas is part of this card where we've got Isaac Chamberlain fighting Vidal Riley. Lawrence Okoli was there for a bit. Now he's up at Bridger or maybe up at Heavy. Richard Riakporte and plenty more.
Mate, Massey, like the list goes. Alois Junior, I think, is looking pretty solid. It is stacked. It is absolutely stacked. How long before we can start seeing your man taking on some of these names, or is he just got time and there's time for the dust to clear?
Yeah, he's 21 years of age, but he's going to be pushing on. He's going to be tested. He's going to show his ability, but show his improvements. So yeah, sure. I mean, there's talent and there's interesting fights, in every run of the ladder. And yeah, you're right. Alois Junior and Pat Brown who's just turned pro. There's Elliot El Massi who's just turned over with a bit of hype. So there's going to be loads of great fighters coming through at Lucas's stage. And then we might get in October now. We've been talking so long, they're de-rigging. That's all right, my old mate. And but he's in his own lane, he's doing his own thing, and we're going to try and keep him busy, keep him active, keep him improving, and just keep exposing him to these priceless opportunities that he's already experienced and thrived in, whether that be sparring with world champions, past and present, whether that be being out there for fight week during the major fights and experiencing that. Here at his first press conference, and his second pro outing, he's there at the top table next to Andy Scott and Ben Shalom and myself. So he's flying. Just jump on the journey.
Look, the more he wins, I said this to him, the more you win, the more people like me are going to pester you.
Yeah.
Because we want to get your voice, we want to give you recognition. Listen, I've already been following you. It's fantastic to see you already embracing the big stage, like you just said. But you're on a boxer show. How much does George imprint his own style into your style, or is he very much letting you be your own man's?
Yeah, I would say he lets me be my own man. As an athlete and as an individual, you're going to have your own style. But definitely, even myself, I'd like to take bits and pieces from all the great fighters, and there's still multiple facets of my game which can be molded and changed. And George has that knowledge. George, has the expertise, and that's what we're doing in the gym. Molding my style to be the best that I can be.
What's the worst part of training with him? What's the thing that you actually hate? He's here now as well, so you be careful what you say.
To be honest, he puts me through some crazy circuits sometimes, where at the end of them I'm like, geez. Yeah. But to be fair,
find me a brother that likes hill sprinting, and I'll call him a sick man. But yeah, go on.
And some of the hill sprints, we got some crazy hills right by us. We got Primrose Hill, Mad Hill. Yeah, Mad Hill. We got the hill next to Del Youth. I forgot the name of the road, but crazy as well. Yeah. So some of those hill sprints, those circuits, ain't fun, but you got to do them.
Yeah, absolutely. Is he a good student? Does he listen? Can he stick to a game plan?
Yeah, absolutely. On his debut, that's the only time where I've really needed him to stick to the plan, and he did to the letter. Came out, exactly what you'd want from a debut. Almost punch perfect. Took no free shots. Stamped his authority, within the fight, and he's done that time and time again in sparring. And there's times where, it's the last round. I say, go on, away you go, do what you want, have some fun, and you can come away from the sort of the regimented sort of style that we're trying to induce in him. But it takes time. We're in the gym, as I say, every week, working hard, and I'm nitpicking. I'm on his case, and I say that from the get-go. I'll be like, look, this is not me complaining, and I'm not saying you're doing it wrong, but I'm gonna continuously be nudging you in the right direction. So I say, right, you square on, left shoulder forward, and he's moving like a half inch, but that's the difference between me being able to hit him and me not. So for the untrained eye, you'd be like, I don't get it, but he gets it, I get it, and we're doing it. And you got to put that practice in. You got to put that time in the gym. You got to keep, David Hayes said it to me, practice don't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect, and that is what we're after. And that's what we're getting. Yeah,
listen, very lastly, does he ever move around with you? Does he ever don the gloves, jab you up a little bit or anything? Does he move around? Do you ever have a little spar with him?
The closest, he puts the body bag on, and he has the little glove mitts, and it's more so me trying to avoid punches from him, working on my defense, working on my pullback, slips, slides, rolls, and that's the closest. This
brother's a quality fighter. I was at his fight with DeGale. I was at that fight of his. honestly, one of the greatest fighters in the UK. Definitely one of the most popular fighters in the UK. So you're in really good hands. Thank you so much, both of you, for your time. Mr. St. George Groves.
Yes, thank you.
What a legend.
Appreciate you,
Lucas,
boxing.
I'm going to tag you. Make sure you follow this brother, because if you do, you'll be in for an absolute treat. Thank you.